Imagine a world where we couldn't talk to someone from another country unless we learnt their language from scratch.
Imagine if scientists couldn't share discoveries because every journal was published in a different tongue. Imagine if movies, memes, and music couldn't travel beyond borders.
And what if there was no common way to connect ideas between folks across Tokyo, Tunis, and Toronto?
Well, fortunately, the world does have a shared language, and we're bringing you this episode of Put It Plainly in English, our language.
Yep, English is the world's passport to communication, the language of business, science, aviation, media, diplomacy, pop culture, and even the internet.
But here's the strange part. Hardly anyone ever stops to ask, where did English come from? How did this jumble of sounds from a rainy island off the coast of Western Europe end up becoming the global language?
And that's the story we're sharing with you today, the rise of English. Literally the world's most useful and least discussed tool hidden in plain sight.
G'day, I'm Shannon.
And I'm Sherry. Welcome to Put It Plainly, where we take the world's biggest ideas and explain them in plain English.
So when we think of English, we often imagine Shakespeare, the Queen, or maybe even Harry Potter.
The interesting thing, though, is that English didn't begin as the language of kings or scholars. It began as the language of farmers, warriors, and wanderers.
This journey begins about 1500 years ago when the Roman Empire was falling apart. The island of Britain at the time was full of Celtic-speaking tribes, ancestors of modern Welsh, Scots, Gaelic and Irish speakers.
Then, from across the North Sea came three Germanic tribes, the Angles, the Saxons and the Jutes, sailing over from what's now Denmark and northern Germany.
They conquered large parts of Britain and pushed the Celtic languages to the fringes, Wales, Scotland and Ireland.
These new settlers spoke dialects of Old German. Over time, those dialects mixed and became what we now call Old English or Anglo-Saxon.
Old English looked and sounded nothing like what we speak today. If you picked up a text from that time, say Beowulf, you'd barely recognise a word.
Words like king, strong, water or earth may have survived, but the grammar was more like German. You had complex endings, gendered nouns and lots of case markings.
For a few hundred years, this was the main language of the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. It was more or less shaped by farming life and folk tales.
But remember that languages don't stay still. They change over time, both in terms of grammar and vocabulary through contact and collision with speakers of other languages, and that's basically what happened in Britain a fair bit over the centuries, and the end result was the thing we're speaking right now.
In 793 AD, the first wave of the Vikings came raiding from Scandinavia, first for loot, then for land.
They didn't just attack Britain, they settled there. Large parts of northern England and eastern Britain became known as the Danelaw, ruled under Viking customs.
The Norse language that the Vikings spoke began mixing with Old English. That's where we got simple, powerful words like sky, egg, take, give, or knife, originally pronounced knif.
It also helped simplify English grammar. Two similar Germanic languages rubbing shoulders made speakers drop complicated endings and use different word order instead.
So oddly enough, English became easier thanks to the Vikings.
And much cooler sounding, if we may say so.
Then came the big one in 1066, the Norman Conquest, a year that changed everything.
A French-speaking duke from Normandy called William the Conqueror invaded England and became king.
The Normans brought their language, Old Norman French, which became the language of the royal court, the government and the legal system.
For nearly 300 years, English peasants spoke English while their rulers spoke French.
So if you were an ordinary farmer, your word for an animal was cow, pig. But if you're a noble sitting at a feast, you called the cooked meat beef or pork. That's why English has both sets of words today.
The French influence gave English thousands of new words: justice, beauty, honour, court, government.
This blend became the foundation of Middle English, the language of Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales in the 1300s.
By then, French influence had rubbed off on English vocabulary quite considerably, and this blend became the new norm.
The next big shift came in the 1400s. A bloke named William Caxton set up England's first printing press in 1476.
Printing made books cheaper and reading more common, but it also needed standard spelling and grammar.
That's when English began to stabilise. The spelling started to settle down and regional dialects merged into something closer to modern English.
Around the same time, the King James Bible was published in 1611. It was poetic, rhythmic, and accessible. Its phrases still echo today: the powers that be, or the writing on the wall, or a thorn in the flesh.
The Bible spread English to every church and home. Combined with Shakespeare's plays, it cemented the language's literary prestige.
So by the 1600s, English had become rich, expressive, and recognisably ours.
Now let's jump to the 1700s and 1800s. Britain was building an empire across the subcontinent, Africa, North America, and the Pacific, as in Australia and New Zealand.
Wherever British traders, soldiers, and settlers went, so did the English language.
It became the language of law, administration, and commerce in colonies stretching across the globe.
But it didn't stay purely British. Local versions developed: Indian English, Caribbean English, New Zealand English, South African English, and not to mention Australian English.
Each place added its own accent, slang, and rhythm. The colonies gave back words too, like bungalow from Hindi, boomerang and kangaroo from Indigenous languages, and barbecue from the Caribbean.
By the late 1800s, you could travel halfway around the world and find someone who spoke English, even if only a little bit.
Then came the 1900s and the global power balance shifted. The British Empire had faded away and America emerged as the world leader, politically, militarily, economically, and culturally.
Hollywood, pop music, and technology made American English the new global standard.
Words like movie, truck, gas, cool, and awesome spread everywhere through film and TV.
Even in countries that had never been colonized by Britain or America, English became the language of professional ambition. You spoke it to get a good job or to connect with the wider world.
After World War II, English became the official language of international organisations like the UN, NATO, and the World Bank.
Pilots have to use English when flying internationally. Scientists write their research in English. Even the code that runs the internet uses English-based syntax.
It's no longer owned by any one country. It's a shared system, global, adaptable, and constantly evolving.
Here's the part most people miss. The spread of English isn't about communication, it's about influence.
Through English, America exports its culture, movies, music, ideas, fashion, even memes to the rest of the world.
English isn't just a language, it's the operating system of globalization.
If a researcher in Japan or Brazil publishes a breakthrough, it would struggle to reach global recognition unless it was written in English.
It's the same with music or social media. A catchy song in Korean still uses English hooks to go global.
English connects the world's conversations. It's the bridge between cultures that otherwise wouldn't understand each other.
And yet we barely think about it. It's like the air we breathe, invisible yet everywhere.
What's even more interesting is that the English never stops evolving. It absorbs whatever it touches.
From selfie to Googling, new words appear faster than ever before.
Different countries keep shaping it. Australia English, for example, has its own vibe. Relaxed, ironic, and full of abbreviations.
The Brits say holiday and footpath, while the Americans say vacation and sidewalk. Same language, different flavours.
It's no wonder English has been described as a living language. It adapts, borrows, bends, but still keeps its identity.
Kind of like a sponge, soaking up ideas from every culture it meets.
Without English, the modern world just wouldn't work.
Think about it. Planes wouldn't land safely, scientists couldn't collaborate, global trade would be a nightmare.
Even this video wouldn't exist because the global platforms we are using are all built around English code, English words, English syntax.
English has become humanity's shared toolkit for thinking, reasoning, and sharing knowledge.
It's not about dominance, it's about practicality. The world needed a bridge language and English just happened to be in the right place at the right time. English may have started as the speech of a few tribes on a foggy island, but it sure has ended up as the voice of our planet.
It's the best kept secret hidden in plain sight. The one invention that unites humanity without anyone really noticing.
The story of English isn't just about words, it's about timeless bonds offering billions of strangers the chance to understand each other across time, space, and national borders.
That's the quiet power of this language. It doesn't scream, it just works.
So next time you read a sign, watch a movie, or Google something, remember you're using the greatest collaborative project in humanity's journey.
If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up, share it with your mates, and subscribe for more big ideas put plainly.
Thanks for watching.